witchcraft, the Bohemian Grove, all of these things have been talked about a lot recently. None more notable, though, than when Ryan Garcia begins to talk about it in his social media accounts. Now, there are two videos that I think are the most important to watch whenever you watch some of the things that he said, and we're going to go over that in this video. But that's not what this video is really about. The main point that I want you to take from this video is that I may have proof that all of the things that he's talking about are, in fact, true. And if you have watched his videos already, don't feel free to skip over the parts in this video that are Ryan Garcia talking and watch whenever we start to get into the proof and the experiences that can prove what he's saying very well could be true. Before we dive into these videos, I know a lot of you watching right now are not subscribed. You could really help out this YouTube channel if you go ahead and click that subscribe button and get tuned in for every video that we release. Now let's go ahead and jump into it. Now before I click play, I just want you to know there's a lot of foul language in this video, so I do apologize. But let's go ahead and jump into it.
Hey, bro. All right, talk to us.
Bro, I don't give a fuck, bro. They held me down and they made me watch little kids get raped. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Where?
Bro, they fucking took me to the fucking woods, bro, and they fucking tied. I'm not fucking joking, bro. I have fucking proof, bro. I don't give a fuck. Bro, I fucking will show you every fucking video you could ever fucking believe. Bohemian Grove is real. They fucking tied me down and they made me fucking watch, dog. I absolutely don't give a fuck anymore. Yes, I fucking lost it. They're raping little kids.
You,
Bro, fuck this dude.
who? You
Bro,
do know
you know the higher elites, bro. You already know who they are, bro.
you know the path
Andrew,
you're going down is dangerous, my friend.
I
That's what
don't
I'm
give
worried
a
about.
fuck. I don't give a fuck. They can't touch me. I'm
Out of everything that's said in this particular clip, I think one of the most interesting part is when um, Andrew Tate says that the path that you're going down is dangerous because that alone sounds cryptic and could spark a number of conspiracy theories just by him saying that. Because exactly did he mean that the path that you're going down is dangerous? Is it because people are going to think he's crazy, or is it because it's true? And Andrew Tate also knows a lot of different things that he's speaking on, but he is not maybe bold enough or doesn't care enough to say anything about it. I don't know. Find it interesting. Leave in the comment what you think that actually meant.
a god.
Well, that's the first point of contention.
Well, see, and this part too, he says a lot of people think he says that I am a god, but he himself says that he says I am God. Basically, he's saying that God is with him, not that he is a god or he is God. So, um, it is kind of hard to hear exactly what he says, but I just clear that up that he's not saying that he's God.
Because I care about you a lot, and I can assure you from my own personal experience that they can touch you, which is the
Bro,
worst part
no,
about
they
it.
can't, bro. All right, so come touch me, you fucking bitch.
You have
I
proof
don't
of these
give.
things. You have proof of this on your phone?
Yes, of course I do. The fuck you talking about? Of course. If Alex could get a fucking video from the Bohemian Grove, of course I could.
Well, I have to be careful what I say because I'm in the middle of a judicial process right now.
You want me to get
I,
you out of it? I can help
oh,
you.
bro, my door gets kicked in if I say what I'm thinking.
Okay, well, I can help you get out of it if you want. I know people.
Well,
Well, just by the way he says after it, it does sure sound like Andrew Tate at least agrees with what he says. But the thing is, everything that he said and just the way that he's presenting what he says sounds like he's going crazy. But let's jump into the next video that I find important to watch in all of this. Just want to start out by saying that in this one, you may see a lot of goofy things being put on his head. It's because he's on TikTok Live. Um, this video is very interesting, and this video in particular ties into the videos that I'll be showing you after. So pay attention when I pause and I go to tell you that you need to pay attention to this particular part. Let's go ahead and jump into.
Okay, so with that being said, I'm not doing this for clout. I'm not doing this for anything. This does nothing for my fight. This is just me trying to give the facts and the truth of what I've seen throughout the years. And during this point and this time, there's a lot of eyes on me. and I'm bringing awareness for the kids, the little kids that are hurting. I know you guys seen that video. I'm not even going to say the name, but you know what I'm talking about. Starts with the J. And I'm trying to be as calm as I can. Trust me, I'm trying to be as calm as I can, and I'm trying to be as safe as I can, but there will be a time. My last fight was for my son Henry. I wanted to fight for him, and that's what I give the fight to. This time, it's for the children around the world. I'm going to give you guys some facts, since some people want some facts. 3 fast facts, and I got a paper here because everybody likes facts. They want papers, right? Everybody wants the proof? Okay. Well, let's go into, this is surface level proof.
Now, if you don't believe anything that he said so far, these things are factual. And I believe the reasons he's coming to present these facts is because of how many people he probably hears telling him that he just sounds crazy. So let's let him tell us what these facts actually are.
This is common knowledge if you're really paying attention. Okay. The first fact, with human trafficking, including sex trafficking, the global industry of human trafficking, including child sex trafficking, is estimated to be worth $150 billion annually.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
$150 billion annually. Do you understand what that means? I don't even know how much Amazon is worth, but if this is worth 150 billion, I mean, it's about time we start paying attention for the children. Number 2, globally, the International Labor Organization estimates that 1.2 million children are trafficked each year. 1.2 million children are trafficked each year.
Around the world.
Around the whole world. The U.S., in particular, where we live, where I live, the U.S. is the #1 nation in the world for consuming child sex material. Now, those are the 3 facts. And I already know about this. I'm going to go a little deep. No, don't worry. I'm not going to go into too deep stuff because at the end of the day, I got a lot of people telling me not to do this. A lot of people. You got to understand the pressure I have. A lot of people are asking, can you guys stop trying to join the live, please? I'm trying to speak facts right now.
But let them know you're trying to leverage your platform.
And of course I'm trying to leverage my platform.
For what?
For the kids. So, dude, they're putting hats on me. I'm being serious right now. At the end of the day, I got a lot of people that told me not to do this, that it's going to get bad for me. I don't care. I live for God.
So can you imagine having a lot of people tell you not to do something, and that something be that you're trying to bring awareness to the fact that there are children out there being trafficked? That alone blows my mind. It really does. But let's go ahead and keep on.
I don't live for anybody else. I'm going to touch this really quick. Really, really quick. The rules of satanic worship is it needs to be in your plain sight. That's all I'm going to say.
That point right there, I really want you to remember this right here. He says that one of the rules for satanic worship is that it needs to be in plain sight.
So everything that I'm saying is right in front of your face, and you're not doing anything about it. You're not doing anything about it. I'm screaming to the world, putting my reputation on the line. I got people wanting to cancel the fight. People telling me I need to go to a mental rehab to put me into the psych ward because I'm speaking the truth. Please help me and you help the children. You ask me what the next step is? Like we need to get together every time, bro. They're going to keep doing this to children. You know, Jeffrey Epstein ain't the only island. That's what I will say. They blackmail each other so they can have a union where they won't snitch on each other. Think about that. They do horrible things together so they don't snitch against each other, and they're rich so they hold each other accountable. If you say something, I'm going to say something, and everything comes down. Think about it.
Let them know about
Okay.
your foundation you want to start too.
And I'm starting my foundation, Save the Children. Also, Release the Truth. Nonprofit. I don't want anything. Have I asked for $1 from any of you guys? Have I made $1 from anything I'm saying?
So I'm going to stop this one right here because the rest of it I don't really think is as relevant to the videos that I'll be showing following. But I do want to point out that he has a point. All of the things that he's saying, all of the things that he's doing here, do not benefit his career at all. As a matter of fact, most of the things that he's saying is probably going to lose him money, which I believe he continues to say. But besides just those obvious facts, let's go ahead and jump into another video that very well could collaborate enough with this video to show you that it is true. So before we jump into this video, I just want you to know who we're watching. The one on the left is Michael Nolis, and the one on the right is Julie Lopez. Now, if you don't know who Julie Lopez is, she's going to be the one who is speaking on what witchcraft is and some of the dangers and stuff of witchcraft. She goes over all of that in this interview. But this particular section of the interview, she begins to say things that would make me believe that Ryan Garcia very well could be telling the truth. And the reason she's able to comment on witchcraft and all of these things and what occurs in witchcraft and how witchcraft is conducted is because she was once a very prominent witch and around a lot of different prominent witches herself. I've watched her testimonies on different YouTube channels and different videos. A lot of what she says is very interesting and very powerful. Let's go ahead and jump into this video.
Story just popped up of a trial in Glasgow. 11 people put on trial for witchcraft. That was the headline, really sensationalist. In 2023, people are on trial for witchcraft. But then when they outlined the actual charges, it was satanic ritual abuse of children, it was sexual abuse of children, and forcing children into seances and to use Ouija boards. And it was all jumbled up together. And it did get me wondering, hate to bring this up, in mixed company, but is the weird sex stuff is part of it.
The sex rituals.
Yeah.
It is part of it. And let's come back again to the blood thing. You know why they use virgins in the rituals? Because when a virgin woman had sex for the first time, the hymen breaks. So there's blood. So there is a covenant there. So at the time, that's why they use the virgins for the rituals, because there is a connection, there is a covenant there, there's pure, there's something there with that blood that gets the demons, and then it gets more power. That's why they also use children.
So right there off the bat, we have somebody who has plenty of experience in dealing with witchcraft, practicing witchcraft, being around witchcraft, letting you know that children are used in witchcraft all of the time.
They do in these rituals, they do, sorry for being so thinky, they rape children, they rape babies, because they believe that there's pure and there's something there with the blood that is going to give more power and more access to the demons.
For saying that, you will be called a conspiracy theorist, QAnon, that's the new term that they use, whatever it means, and they'll say, you believe that there's this ritual abuse going on of children and even babies. And
if you've been in a car accident, don't call an attorney. Use this AI app instead.
I guess my answer to that is,
calling somebody conspiracy theorist, QAnon, because they believe that all of these children are being raped and abused and used in witchcraft. Doesn't that sound a lot like Ryan Garcia's situation? Now, these videos are completely unrelated, but yet they go together so well.
It's like on the whole witchcraft issue. For all of human history, people have been explicitly practicing witchcraft, like all tribes all over the world. There are people today who call themselves witches. There are religious people who oppose witchcraft. There are, in this case, people on trial for witchcraft-related crimes that include all of those crazy, wild conspiracy theories with the little kids and the horrible stuff. The only people who don't believe in this are a handful of, I guess, secularists or materialist type people. And then I guess there's another group that denies it, which is the people who are maybe engaging in it or covering it up, and they're just lying. And so, but I just don't see how, looking at the evidence of all of history and even the headlines and a trial right now going on in Scotland, the testimony of someone who's been very involved in witchcraft, how anyone could deny it. All of the evidence says this stuff happens and has pretty much always happened.
Mm-hmm. The enemy wants to make this look like it doesn't exist, so we don't do anything about it. I had recently I was kind of like mentoring, helping someone that she was involved in satanic ritual abuse. She was a woman, she was a 65-year-old woman, and her testimony is crazy. And I was trying to help her to come out of that mentality, helping her with deliverance, with healing. And she told me some crazy stuff that they used to do to her. And people will hear her testimony and think like, she's crazy. She needs to go to a psychiatric
mental asylum.
Exactly. She needs to be locked. But she was sharing specific things about what she went through, and even as a really young girl, how she was raped, how she was involved in these rituals, what they have to make her do when they lock her in cages with animals to.
No, that was in the story about what happened in Glasgow. They would lock these kids in cages and cabinets.
And they lock them there with animals because their main thing is fear. They want to kind of like control their mind, so then one day they can be part of the cult and continue. In fact, this woman, she became like a high priest satanist, but she believed in God since she was young because she had an encounter with Jesus. So she believes that the whole time the Lord was protecting her from those things. But she told me some crazy stuff, and I'm like, I didn't even know those things were real. Like,
wait, hold on. She believed in God, had an encounter with Jesus, and then became a high-ranking.
They were training her
got it.
to be a high satanist, and she saw demons, she had encounters, she went through rape, they even killed one of her babies in when she got pregnant as a sacrifice. So the story is crazy.
Like they made her get an abortion, or like after
they took the baby out and they killed in front of her. So these things are real. These things are real. And I'm like, but this is why the enemy doesn't kind of like want to make us think that this is not real.
Yeah.
So we don't stand and we speak about these matters. We speak about these things, and what are we going to do against that? Because if the church doesn't know that this is real, the church is just gonna be.
So, in other words, what I get out of this is that we need to open our eyes and understand that these things, regardless of whether or not it's exactly the way that Ryan Garcia was saying it, are real and are really happening. You see it all around us every day. These subtle hints that witchcraft and all of this evil is real.
Satan.
My question then, I think I probably know the answer, but what kind of groups are doing this? Meaning, is it just some weirdo, fringe, eccentric people on the edges of society who are engaging in this and who get caught up in it, and it's horrible and tragic, but it's some pretty weird out there people? Or is it mainstream people and wealthy people and powerful people? And you seem to be implying it's the latter.
So, conspiracy theories again.
It's a safe space.
Yeah, but I believe there's so many people in power involved in Satanism. You cannot imagine. She even, I mean, I don't want to say her name because she's quite private, but she told me when she was super involved in that there were people of high rank with a lot of money involved in these rituals.
Yeah.
Involved in these practices. And she didn't give me names, but she said like that she saw a lot of people with money, in power, in government, involved in this type of practices. So I believe that there's a lot of people, there's normal people doing it, and there's also people in power involved in this.
I did hear from someone once. This was someone I knew a little bit in school, like freshman year, and then we kind of lost touch, went our separate ways. I don't think he liked me very much. He was very conservative, but he reached out to me years later after we had graduated, and without going too much into detail in this, because I don't want to be gossiping or anything. He got involved. He just told me all this once, just right over the phone. I hadn't talked to this guy in years. He got involved in all of this kind of stuff, like down to the very worst levels of it. And he said there were very, very wealthy, influential, powerful people involved. Like not very wealthy, like they have nice houses in the suburbs, like
Important.
private jet kind of money, involved in this. And I've heard it. So that was I guess a direct witness or participant I heard this from, and I've heard it from other people too. But it just, on the one hand, it seems like common sense because it's right there in the Bible. The principalities and the powers and spiritual wickedness of high places, and the notion that the devil is the prince of this world, it's right there. And yet even I still today cannot believe that is real, because I just expect things to be kind of more normal. Maybe that is normal.
It
Or
does.
maybe the abnormal is normal in this world.
So, from this video, from a person that has spent a lot of time among witchcraft, talking to people that are ex-witches, she even confirms that people in high places of high power, of great wealth, are actively practicing in the abuse of children and the practice of witchcraft. And not only that, Michael Knowles, he admits that all of this is really hard to believe and really hard to understand why we can't believe it, even though the Bible says that these things are going to come to pass. Now, one of the things I will say is that Ryan Garcia may know about this because of his status and his social status, his money, all the things he may have access to that we as normal people that are not famous, that are not extremely wealthy, don't have access to. And once he was given access to the upper echelon of some of these maybe higher ranking people involved in witchcraft, instead of just agreeing and going into it, he decided to shed light on the situation that he sees because nobody else will. Now, there always is the other option. Maybe Ryan Garcia is just crazy. I mean, it could still be possible. All of this stuff could just line up and be coincidental. I don't know. He could just be trolling, kind of like a Nas X. Who knows? But I will tell you whether or not he's telling the truth. These things are really going on. And this next video will prove to you that some of these things are being done right before your eyes.
Her to talk about Beyonce and Taylor in Sacred. This is going to be a lot of information, so try to keep up. So Sacred is Beyonce's hair care product that she actually recently came out with. Though it is spelled that way, Beyonce does pronounce it as sacred. For people that may or may not understand, the word sacred means to set apart for the worship of a deity, or to make something or declare something as holy. And even in her small promotional video she did for the actual hair care line, she had stated that hair has power, which it does. Now keep in mind, if you actually pay attention to the products and the design of the bottle, the designs actually look very similar, and they are very symbolic and actually go back to looking similarities to the pillars. And you would also realize that Beyonce recently changed her stage name to Bey over the course of years instead. Now, if you look up the word Bey, it actually belongs to the nation of Moors, which they are associated with ancient Moabites. And the name Bey or Il actually goes back to the name Mo, which is actually Abraham's nephew. Now, the Moabites were actually mentioned over a course of history multiple times, but they actually worship a deity named Chemosh. And the deity Chemosh, he is actually a deity that actually requires human sacrifices in order for you to get what you want in manifestations or victory or battle wins. They even made a sacred tablet and the Moabites actually worshiping the deity Chemosh. And Beyonce has actually gave tribute to him multiple times over the course of her career during durations of albums. This is why it's very imperative to pay attention to who you allow yourself to listen to, because these people are doing a lot of stuff behind closed doors and they are putting you in worldwide rituals and you are unknowingly actually participating in them. But y'all guys stay safe.
Okay, so one of the things that she talks about here is how we're unknowingly participating in these witchcraft and ritualistic functions because we're not knowing the person that is behind the brand and all of the satanic and ritualistic things they're putting into the brand. Now, this could all just be false. Maybe Beyonce just is trying to make a good hair product. But one thing I do want you to keep in mind, Hasbro has a Ouija board that they advertise to sell as just a board game. And I'm here to tell you that the Ouija board is not just a board game, and I don't care how much glitter and uh, how much it looks like Steps and Ladders and Monopoly and all these different board games. I'm not playing that game. I know exactly what that is. You can dress it up however you want. I'm not touching it. Now, is this hair product of the devil? Is it ritualistic? Is it possible? Yeah, I think it is possible. It doesn't sit right. It doesn't feel right. All of the things that she described seem very plausible. It goes right along with witchcraft being practiced in plain sight, just as Ryan Garcia said. It goes right along with the things that Julie Lopez was saying, that a lot of people of high ranking power and rich people are the ones that you need to expect to be practicing in witchcraft. And here we have somebody pointing out that this Beyonce seemingly innocent hair product could very well be inviting everybody that uses it to take part in a witchcraft ritual. I don't know. Uh, I'm going to tell you that a lot of these things, to me, they just seem too coincidental. I'm going to tell you that I know that a lot of these rich people are probably the ones that are responsible for a lot of the cruelty with the children and all of this that we see go on in our society. Why else would the Bible tell us that it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God? Is it because it's impossible? No. It's just easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for it to happen. Why is that? It's because they love money more than anything else. And if it'll make them more money, they're willing to do it. And if they love money that much, then what did the Bible say? The love of money is the root of all evil. It just, everything, when you look at it all at once, it makes too much sense. And yeah, it is really scary. But the reason I want to make a video like this is to bring awareness to what is going on. Keep your eyes open. Don't be in the dark. Don't be led by the devil. Stay close to Jesus and keep your eyes open.